Welcome to the 2300 Pick 6 podcast. I'm your host, Dave Walker, about to do another edition of Where DWALK Was Right and Where DWALK Was Wrong. Usually it's done on Tuesday, but due to my neck was killing me and I was off, that's why we're doing it tonight. And there's also going to be a show later on tonight as well, too. So let's start. All right, first game I got right was Raiders-Broncos, which I got right picking the Broncos, which that game felt like a damn Oakland A's and a Colorado Rockies game. Broncos defense shines in 10-7 squeaker over Raiders despite offensive and special team struggles. The Denver Broncos aren't collecting many style points, but as long as they keep racking up more points than their opponents will score, they don't care how ugly it looks. Well, right now, this is going to get a little bit worse if they don't get this situated. Because if they keep winning ugly like this and don't put up points, it's going to come back to haunt them. And the team that they have to play this Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs, you really cannot fuck around with Mahomes. You really got to put your foot on him. And right now, like I said with Joe Law, Patrick Mahomes right now is a cornered fox, and he is more dangerous than a jackal. And it's going to take a lot for Denver to beat them. And we'll talk about that later on tonight when I do that with Wolf. But a breakdown for the Raiders, they already are on the clock. Geno Smith tried his best, but they already on the clock getting their next draft pick. So we're going to break down a breakdown out of this game. Ashton Jenney, 4-yard rush. Troy Franklin, 7-yard pass from Bo Nix. Will Lutz, 13-yard field goal. No scoring in the fourth quarter. Leaders for the Broncos, Bo Nix, 16-28, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 150 yards. J.K. Dobbins, 18 carries, 77 yards. Let's see. This Pat Bryant, 1 catch for 43 yards. Leading sacker for the Broncos was Nick Bonito with 1.5 sacks. And leading tackler for the Broncos was Alex Singleton with 9 tackles and 2 solo ones. Next game I got right and wrong is Falcons-Colts, which I got right picking the Colts. Taylor runs for 244 yards and 3 touchdowns for Colts in 31-25 overtime win over Falcons in Berlin. Even a spectacular individual point, Jonathan Taylor was all about praising the Indianapolis Colts teammates Sunday. Literally, Jonathan Taylor put up a whole lot of yards scrimmage-wise. He was doing everything in this game, running, catching, and receiving. The Colts did good in this game, getting the win that they needed to keep pace, to keep first place for the 1 seed, and a win that they needed after taking an ugly loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Sauce Gardner did look good in this. The Falcons did try to make this game a comeback, but it was not enough due to the Colts came back and got the win thanks to Jonathan Taylor. Right now, the Falcons have a tough game against the Carolina Panthers, and as the Colts, they are on their bye week. They will be dealing with the Chiefs in 2 weeks' time. I did forget to say, I've forgotten that first one. For the Broncos, their next opponent is against the Kansas City Chiefs. As for the Raiders, they will play against the Dallas Cowboys on Monday Night Football. Sorry if I forgot to say that. But back to this one. Falcons have a tough one against the Carolina Panthers. As for the Colts, they're going to be on their bye week to see right now in 2 weeks when they play against the Chiefs. And we're going to see how this Colts team does if they can get a signature win against them. But a breakdown out of this game, Jonathan Taylor, 1-yard rush. Tyler Algier, 1-yard rush. Alec Pierce, 37-yard pass from Daniel Jones. Drake London, 16-yard pass from Michael Penix Jr. Zane Gonzalez, 43-yard field goal. Michael Bagley, 34-yard field goal. Jonathan Taylor, 83-yard rush. Tyler Algier, 1-yard rush. Michael Bagley, 44-yard field goal. Jonathan Taylor, 38-yard rush for the game-winning touchdown. Leaders for the Colts, Daniel Jones, 19-26, a touchdown, 255 yards, and an interception. Jonathan Taylor, 32 carries, 244 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Tyler Warren, 8 catches for 99 yards. Leading sacker for the Colts was Zaire Franklin with 1 sack, and leading tackler was Zaire Franklin with 6 solo tackles and 10 tackles. For the Falcons, their next opponents against the Carolina Panthers. For the Indianapolis Colts, they are on their bye. They will play the Chiefs in 2 weeks. Next one I got right and wrong is Browns-Jets, which I got wrong picking the Browns. Jets get touchdown returns on a kickoff and a punt and hold on to beat Brown 27-20 for second win in a row. The New York Jets made some franchise history in the span of 36 seconds. They held on the rest of the way for their second win in a row. Jets got their second win against Cleveland Browns, which really didn't matter. Both of these teams are not going anywhere. Both are already on the clock for their draft picks. So it really wasn't really the game that really don't mean anything to any of these two teams. But right now, as the Jets are trying to do everything in their power, probably not to get a first round pick with this win right here. But we'll find out who will get a first round pick in the draft. Breakdown out of this game is David Njoku, 9-yard pass from Dylan Gabriel. Kene Nwagu, 99-yard kickoff return. Isaiah Williams, 74-yard punt return. Jerry Jeudy, 22-yard pass from Dylan Gabriel. Nick Folk, 26-yard field goal. Andre Smith, 45-yard field goal. Breece Hall, 42-yard pass from Justin Fields. Nick Folk, 37-yard field goal. Andre Smith, 29-yard field goal. Leaders for the Jets, Justin Fields, 6 of 11, 54 yards on a touchdown and interception. Breece Hall, 21 carries, 83 yards. Breece Hall, 1 catch for 42 yards on a touchdown. Leading sacker for the Jets was Will McDonald, the fourth with four sacks, and leading tackler was Tony Adams with 9 tackles and 8 solo ones. For the Jets, their next opponent is on Thursday Night Football against the New England Patriots. For the Cleveland Browns, their next opponent is against the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday. Next one I got right and wrong is Jaguars-Texans, which I got wrong, picking the Jaguars. Backup QB Davis Mills and Texans overcome 19-point fourth-quarter deficit to stun Jaguars 36-29. In a team meeting Saturday night, Coach D'Amico Ryan showed the Houston Texans video of a boxer who dislocated his shoulder and still managed to knock out his opponent. Yeah, they did. They came back because the Jaguars literally blew this game. The Jaguars had a big lead and then blew it so badly, even though right now I do have blood and guts on while we're streaming and watching this right now. Tony Khan, you may not be – I don't know how this match goes, if you'll be safe later on tonight, pending how the rest of this card goes. So we'll wait and see after this is over while I'm still watching this while I'm streaming doing this episode. But for the Texans, they came back literally. They did not give up. No C.J. Stroud. They did it with Davis Mills. They got the win, which was needed to try to fight for a playoff spot because I don't think they're going to get their division. They're trying to do everything in their power to get a wild card spot along with Jacksonville to see what they can do. But a breakdown out of this game. Cam Little, 32-yard field goal. Parker Washington, 7-yard pass from Trevor Lawrence. Parker Washington, 73-yard punt. Matthew Wright, 23-yard field goal. Cam Little, 53-yard field goal. Woody Marks, 1-yard rush. Cam Little, 53-yard field goal. Travis Etienne, 6-yard rush, 2-point conversion, failed. Jaden Higgins, 12-yard pass from Davis Mills. Dalton Schultz, 7-yard pass from Davis Mills. 2-point conversion, failed. Davis Mills, 14-yard rush, 2-point conversion, failed. Sheldon Rankins, 32-yard fumble recovery for a scoop and score. Leader for the Texans, Davis Mills, 27-45, 2 touchdowns, interception for 292 yards. Woody Marks, 14 carries, 63 yards on the touchdown. Nico Collins, 7 catches for 136 yards. Leading sacker for the Texans, Daniel Hunter with 3.5 sacks. And leading tackler for the Texans was Azeez Al-Shahir with 8 tackles and 3 solo ones. For the Jaguars, they play against the Chargers on Sunday. For the Texans, they play up against the Tennessee Titans on Sunday. Next game I got right and wrong is Bills-Dolphins, which I got wrong picking the Bills. Oh, there's a lot of wrongs here. Damn. Dolphins end 7-game losing streak against Bills with 30-13 win. Tua Tagovailoa had only beaten Buffalo once in his career before Sunday. Yeah, that was. And then this one was a dominating win by the Dolphins, which nobody saw coming. I don't know what happened with Buffalo here. They just got too cocky. They thought they had an easy dub and thinking that, but this was not an easy dub because the Dolphins literally came in here and just pulled a fuck you game on them, which no one saw coming. I didn't after they literally fired their GM. And with this win, all this win did was just save McDaniel's job for midseason. I still think he's going to get fired by the end of this season, but it just saved his job midseason that he was saved. But a breakdown now for the Bills, they have a game against Tampa Bay at home on Sunday. See if they can bounce back. But they go on a 2-game losing streak and lose, and if the Patriots do happen to win tomorrow night, they're going to have to literally take it out on the Texans come in Thursday Night Football if it gets to that point. So we don't know just yet. But a breakdown out of this game. Malik Washington, 9-yard rush from a pass from Tua Tagovailoa. Jaden Waddle, 38-yard pass from Tua Tagovailoa. Riley Patterson, PAT failed. Riley Patterson, 46-yard field goal. Keon Coleman, 35-yard pass from Josh Allen. There was no scoring in the third quarter. Devin Achane, 59-yard rush. Jackson Hall, 26-yard pass from Josh Allen. Devin Achane, 35-yard rush. And Dalton Kincaid was out due to a hamstring injury. And sometimes when he is not in there, they sometimes do lose games. The breakdown out of this game. But leaders for the Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa, 15-21, 2 touchdowns, 173 yards, and 2 interceptions. Devin Achane, 22 carries, 174 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Jalen Waddle, 5 catches, 84 yards, and a touchdown. Leading sacker for the Dolphins was Zach Zeeler with 1 sack. And leading tackler for the Dolphins was Jordan Brooks with 12 sacks and 6 solo ones. Okay, next opponent for the Dolphins is on Sunday in Madrid, Spain. For the Bills, their next opponent is against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Buffalo. Next game I got right and wrong is Patriots-Bucks, which I got wrong picking the Patriots. Damn, more wrongs. This game was a shocker that no one saw coming that the Patriots were going to win. I didn't see it coming. My friend Wolf didn't see it coming because he did pick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win, and he did say that Drake May was getting a stay of execution, which he didn't get roasted. Now, I don't know what's going to happen when I have him on tonight. Is Drake May going to get another stay of execution? Because the Patriots do play the Jets, and that is a game that they should win. But after what's been going on in the NFL, you don't know how this is going to go. But right now, I said if the Patriots did beat Tampa Bay, we would be having a different conversation with them. And we are going to be having a different conversation about them. Now, that will be with Wolf later on tonight. That conversation could be is how far does he think his team is going to go in the playoffs? Because I think the Patriots are going to make the playoffs. I do think that they will. The question is how far are they going to go? Are they going to make it far to a divisional? Are they going to go to a championship? Or maybe, just maybe, I don't know yet, could they be going to a Super Bowl? We're going to wait and find out when I have that conversation with him. But in my opinion, if the season ends and this stays like all this intact, I think more likely they could go to a divisional, and I think they may lose in a divisional. And I think they would exceed expectations. But due to the fact that Mike Vrabel is a very, very good coach, the Patriots made a very good move in getting him for a coach. Trayvon Henderson is looking very good running the ball, and I did like the fact that he looked back at Mike Vrabel, hey, should I score? He did score and got the win. As for the Bucs, this was a game that everybody thought that they were going to win because they were at home. Tampa's usually good at home, but New England was just more and more hungrier in this game. They wanted this game. They wanted to hold on to first place in their division. They now hold on to the number 2 seed in the AFC playoff picture. They're now fighting for that 1 seed, which is going to be a little bit tough because the Colts and them have the same records. So it's going to be a little bit tough. They are going to try everything in their power to try to get that 1 seed. But right now, like I said, this is all not set in stone. We all got to wait and see what happens down the road with the Patriots and also what happens with the Bucs. But a breakdown out of this game, Emeka Egbuka, 21-yard pass from Baker Mayfield. Kyle Williams, 72-yard pass from Drake May. Chase McLaughlin, 36-yard field goal. Stephon Diggs, 1-yard pass from Drake May. Trayvon Henderson, 55-yard rush. Tez Johnson, 10-yard pass from Baker Mayfield. 2-point run conversion failed. Trayvon Henderson, 69-yard rush. Tez Johnson, 11-yard pass from Baker Mayfield. Leaders for the Patriots, Drake May, 16 of 31, 2 touchdowns and an interception, 270 yards. Trayvon Henderson, 14 carries, 147 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mac Hollins, 6 catches for 106 yards. Leading sacker for the Patriots was Clavion Chasen with 1 tackle, and leading tackler for the Patriots was Jack Gibbons with 10 tackles and 5 solo ones. For the Patriots, they play tomorrow night against the New York Jets. For the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they play against the Buffalo Bills this Sunday. Next game I got right and wrong is Giants-Bears, which I got right. Thank God. Caleb Williams stars as the Bears rally past the Giants for a 24-20 win. It was a listless Sunday afternoon for the Chicago Bears up until the very end. That's when Caleb Williams and company found a way. The Bears found a way to win. They really shouldn't have been in this, even though the Giants are not playing for anything. They're a very bad team. Well, even though the Giants did make some moves, number one, they fired Brian Gable, which should have been done a long time ago. His ass should have been fired after that Denver debacle when he should have been gone. Because he literally was riding all his hopes on Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart, unfortunately, did get hurt. He suffered a concussion in this game. Russell Wilson had to finish the game, and we knew how Russ was going to be, and he did fuck it up because the Bears literally, after getting the Caleb Williams touchdown, literally brought the house on him and literally blitzed him and all 4 times, causing stops. For the Bears, they are trying to do everything in their power to get that to win their division and also fight for a wild card spot. Because right now they're still doing good. They still got the weapons in Swift, Manungai, Romeo Odunze, DJ Moore, and they do have a defense. Now the Bears are doing everything they can do to keep these wins alive. Now, for the Bears, I don't know if they play this or they're on their bye week. No, the Bears play the Vikings this Sunday, so they're going to be seeing they can try to get revenge this time over Minnesota after losing in week 1. We'll see what they can do. If they do get their revenge this time, one thing is learn from your past mistakes. Don't let up. Don't do that. For the Giants, it will not be Russ starting next week against the Green Bay Packers. It will be Jameis Winston. So you literally went from a worse situation from going to Russ to Jameis. But we'll wait and see what occurs this Sunday. But a breakdown of this game. Kyle Monangai, 8-yard rush for a touchdown. Jackson Dart, 3-yard rush. Younghoe Koo, 32-yard field goal. Jackson Dart, 24-yard rush. Cairo Santos, 22-yard field goal. Younghoe Koo, 19-yard field goal. Romeo Odunze, 2-yard patch from Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, 17-yard rush. Leaders for the Giants. Caleb Williams, 20 of 36. 1 touchdown for 220 yards. DeAndre Swift, 13 carries, 80 yards. Romeo Odunze, 6 catches, 86 yards on the touchdown. C.J. Gardner-Johnson was the leading sacker with 2 sacks, and he was also the leading tackler with 7 solo tackles and 9 tackles. For the Bears, they play against the Vikings on Sunday. For the Giants, they play against the Green Bay Packers Sunday. Next game I got right and wrong is Ravens-Vikings, which I got right picking the Ravens. Ravens win third straight game, get 3 takeaways, a takedown, gaff-prone. Vikings 27-19. Lamar Jackson calmly and coolly added another Baltimore win to his resume in his 100th regular season start, watching the Ravens defense stay strong against a quarterback playing in his 4th NFL game. The Ravens defense did everything in their power to hold this game. They did everything good, keeping J.J. McCarthy in check. J.J., it looks like, okay, he has that one good game on the road, and then we come back home. He literally stinks up the joint. So I don't know what it is at home. He doesn't do good at home. And I know, yeah, he's coming back, and this is his 3rd game back, his 4th game back, but it didn't look like the JJ we saw in Detroit when he got the win. This looked like Baltimore just brought them back to reality, and Baltimore is doing everything in their power right now to get wins, to try to get their division, which I think they can do. As for Minnesota, they're trying to find ways to win, but with these losses, you've now given life to Detroit, and you've also given life to Chicago. Packers, not so much, even though they lost to the Eagles. We're going to talk about that when we get to that game. But you now literally have given life to both Detroit and Chicago to try to come back in here and get this division. Now, Minnesota does have a tough one in a key divisional battle against Chicago this Sunday. Baltimore, on the other hand, has a somewhat easy game against the Cleveland Browns on Sunday at 4 o'clock, but we don't know yet. Like I said, not all these games you think are gimmies now, and you got to watch how these go. Some could be on upset alert, and some are on fuck me alerts. So we're going to wait and see what occurs down the road between these two teams. But a breakdown out of this game, Aaron Jones Sr., 4-yard rush. Tyler Luke, 44-yard field goal. Will Reichert, 49-yard field goal. Tyler Luke, 28-yard field goal. Tyler Luke, 30-yard field goal. Tyler Luke, 22-yard field goal. Justice Hill, 1-yard rush. Will Reichert, 43-yard field goal. Mark Andrews, 2-yard pass to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson pass to Rashad Bateman, successful with a 2-point conversion. Jalen Naylor, 10-yard pass to J.J. McCarthy, 2-point conversion, failed. Leaders for the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, 17-29, a touchdown, and 176 yards. Derek Henry, 20 carries for 75 yards. Zay Flowers, 4 catches for 75 yards. Leading sacker for the Ravens was Travis Jones with 1 sack, and leading tackler was Nate Wiggins with 6 solo tackles and 7 tackles. For the Ravens, they play against the Browns on Sunday. For the Vikings, they play against the Bears on Sunday. Next one I got right and wrong is Saints-Panthers, which I got wrong picking the Panthers. Well, as I said before, and I'll keep saying it again, the Carolina Panthers are so bipolar as fuck. And this was a game that they should have won. But no, the Carolina Panthers fucked that up badly, giving the Saints their win, and which I didn't think the Saints were going to win any more games after they had traded off everybody, and now starting with Tyler Show, who looked very good and is throwing for 2 touchdowns, earning his first win. But for the Panthers right now, you would thought, okay, hey, they were winning games. They were above 500, and then there was talks of possibly, hey, they may be getting into a wild card. I don't think they're going to win their division. I can say that right now because I think Tampa's going to win that division. But it now looks like it's back to what Carolina was as being bipolar as fuck, which I've been saying about Carolina with Bryce Young and them. They look bipolar because you don't know what Carolina team you are going to be getting. But now we're going to wait and see what occurs down the road. So, but a breakdown out of this game. Rico Dow, 5-yard rush. Blake Group, 20-yard field goal. Chris Olave, 6-yard pass from Tyler Show. No scoring in the third quarter. Juwan Johnson, 30-yard pass from Tyler Show. Leaders for the Saints. Tyler Show, 19 to 27, 2 touchdowns for 282 yards. Alvin Kamara, 22 carries, 83 yards. Chris Olave, 5 touches for 104 yards and a touchdown. Leading sacker for the Saints, Cameron Jordan with 1 sack, and leading tackler was Demario Davis with 7 tackles and 1 solo one. For the Saints, their next opponent are the Saints on a bye this week? Let me check. The Saints are on a bye, so they will be playing the Atlanta Falcons on November the 23rd. For Carolina, their next game is against Atlanta on Sunday. Next game that I got right and wrong is Cardinals Seahawks, which I got right, picking the Seahawks. So this is all the 4 o'clock games right here, which I got right. Thank God. DeMarcus Lawrence scores 2 defensive touchdowns. The Seahawks dominate Cardinals 44-22 win. But for Sunday, DeMarcus Lawrence had scored 2 touchdowns in 448 NFL games over 12 seasons. Yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence has been in the end zone before. He's only gotten 2 that I know of. The one back in 2021 against the Commanders off of an interception, and then another one off of a scoop and score whip against the Rams back in 2022. So this was something new, not new to him, but he got another 2 this year. Seattle literally dominated this game from the start. When I was watching it, they were almost like I think it was like 35-0 in the second. Arizona tried to make a somewhat of a comeback, but it didn't matter because Jacoby Brissett was playing against the defense, and it's not easy to win down in Seattle at times. But Seattle did look good. Sam Darnold looked good. The whole offense, defense, and special teams looked good. And Seattle just picked up where business was left off as they returned from Sunday Night Football. Now Seattle has a tough test on Sunday against the LA Rams in a key divisional battle in LA. So they're going to have a tough one when they play on Sunday. So we'll wait and see what occurs with them. As for the Arizona Cardinals, I don't know exactly when, if Kyler Murray is going to be back, barring if Duty doesn't come out. Well, actually, Duty comes out this week, so I don't think he's going to be back. I think Cardinals still going to lose regardless. But they do play the 49ers in a tough battle. But a breakdown out of this game. Jackson Smith and Jig 43-yard pass from Sam Darnold. DeMarcus Lawrence, 34-yard fumbles covered for a scoop and score by Tyrese Knight for a 34-yard loss. George Halani, 9-yard rush. DeMarcus Lawrence, 22-yard fumble recovery by Trice Knight for a 22-yard loss. Zach Charbonnet, 6-yard rush. Greg Dortch, 4-yard rush. Jason Myers, 46-yard field goal. Trey McBride, 15-yard pass from Jacoby Brissett. Jason Myers, 30-yard field goal. Marvin Harrison Jr., 9-yard pass from Jacoby Brissett. Jason Myers, 34-yard field goal. Leaders for the Seahawks: Sam Darnold, 10-12, 1 touchdown, intercepted for 178 yards. Zach Charbonnet, 14 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown. Jackson Smith and Jig with 5 catches, 93 yards, and a touchdown. Trice Knight was the leading tackler with 2 sacks, and leading tackler for the Seahawks was Nick Emanwari with 5 solo tackles and 9 tackles. For the Seahawks, they play in a key divisional matchup against the LA Rams. For Arizona, they play up against the San Francisco 49ers. Next game I got right and wrong is Lions Commanders, which I got right picking the Lions. Detroit dominated this game from start to finish. They literally, with Dan Campbell now calling the plays, they literally dominated this game. They did not let up. They literally absorbed that loss to Minnesota, and they took it out on the Vikings. They literally put their foot so far up the Washington Commanders' ass, it wasn't even funny. Even with Jaden Daniels, they still would have lost. And when Marcus Mariota tried his best and gave it the good old college try, but it was not enough. And Washington did not look good out there. And it is already over for Washington. I already said they were not making playoffs, and I can already say, same old fucking Washington. They are not going to make the playoffs. They're not going to win their division, and they are already thinking about drafting right now. But a breakdown out of this game. Jahmyr Gibbs, 14-yard rush from Jared Goff. Matt Gay, 44-yard field goal. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 9-yard pass from Jared Goff. Jahmyr Gibbs, 13-yard rush run for the 2-point conversion. Chris Rodriguez Jr., 1-yard rush. Jake Bates, 22-yard field goal. Jameson Williams, 14-yard pass from Jared Goff. Debo Samuel, 4-yard pass from Marcus Mariota. Jake Bates, 28-yard field goal. Jahmyr Gibbs, 43-yard rush. Ben Sinnott, 4-yard pass from Marcus Mariota. 2-point conversion failed. Jake Bates, 48-yard field goal. Leaders for the line: Jared Goff, 25 of 33, 3 touchdowns, 320 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs, 15 carries, 2 touchdowns, 142 yards. Jameson Williams, 6 catches, 1 touchdown, 119 yards. Brian Branch, 1.5 sacks. And leading tackler for the Lions was Jack Campbell with 4 tackles and 9 solo ones. For the Washington Commanders, their next opponent is against the Miami Dolphins in Madrid, Spain. for the Detroit Lions. Their next opponent is on Sunday Night Football against the Philadelphia Eagles. Next one I got right, and the right and wrong is Rams 49ers, which I got right, picking the Rams. Matthew Stafford throws 4 touchdowns as Rams beat 49ers 42-26 for the 4th straight win. Matthew Stafford punctuated his 4th touchdown pass of the day that capped a 3-game run that had never been achieved before in the NFL with a little bit of a shimmy shake. So, okay. Oh, sorry. Got looking at blood and guts. Let's see what was going on here. I thought they gave up. I thought Tony's team gave up, but they did not. Sorry about that. So back to this. Matthew Stafford looked very, very good in this game. He threw 4 touchdown passes. The Rams literally kept running it and running. They got their revenge from that game from Thursday Night Football and overtime that loss. They did everything in their power to get the win. They got that win as best they could. The 49ers did try to make it a comeback by giving it the good old college try, but it was not enough for them to get the win. As of right now, I don't know if it is going to be Brock Purdy or if it's going to be Mac Jones, whoever plays Sunday against Arizona. So we'll wait and see what occurs for them. As for the Rams, they're doing everything in their power to keep first place in their division. They have a tough one to play against Seattle to see who will hold on to first place, and they're trying to do everything in their power to hold on and try to fight for that 1 seed with Philadelphia and with Detroit to see what they can do. But I'll say this, Matthew Stafford has been playing outstanding football, and he's been doing very, very well. But a breakdown out of this game. Kyron Williams, 2-yard rush. Puka Nacua, 22-yard pass from Matthew Stafford. Davis Allen, 4-yard pass from Matthew Stafford. Juwan Jennings, 6-yard pass from Mac Jones. Brian Robinson Jr., 1-yard rush. Devontae Adams, 2-yard pass from Matthew Stafford. Luke Farrell, 9-yard pass from Mac Jones. Kyron Williams, 7-yard rush. Colby Parkinson, 16-yard pass from Matthew Stafford. George Kittle, 13-yard pass from Mac Jones. 2-point conversion failed. Leaders for the Ram, Matthew Stafford, 24-36, 280 yards and 4 touchdowns. Kyron Williams, 14 carries, 73 yards for 2 touchdowns. Devontae Adams, 6 catches, 1 touchdown for 77 yards. No sacks by the Ram. Leading tackler was Nate Landman with 11 tackles and 5 solo ones. For the Rams, they play in a key divisional matchup against the Seattle Seahawks. For the 49ers, they play up against the Arizona Cardinals. Next game I got right and wrong is Steelers-Chargers, which I got right, picking the Chargers. Chargers humble Aaron Rodgers and Steelers 25-10 in prime time for 3rd straight win. The beat-up Los Angeles Chargers laid a beat down to Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This game did start off a little bit slow in the beginning, but the Chargers literally started going to Ladd McConkey and throwing the ball and with Vidal. And Rodgers literally started bitching throughout this whole thing and started turning into CM Rodgers. So I don't know. And it really is getting bad. Like we said before, one game does not predicate that your defense was good. And I think that was just a lucky game they beat the Colts on. Now they have a divisional matchup against the Cincinnati Bengals, which we saw what happened in that first meeting with Cincinnati won. Now, I don't know if Cincinnati is going to beat them again, but Pittsburgh did not look very good in that game. And yeah, I know it's in Pittsburgh, but I think Cincinnati might be trying to get their revenge. For the LA Chargers, they've been doing good. They have not been charging games, even though, yeah, they're without their offensive tackle, but they're getting it done with Herbert with his legs, going to Vidal, going to Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnson, and Keenan Allen, and the defense getting his job done. So the Chargers can avoid charging games. They could try to win their division, but they got to compete with Denver, and they also got to deal with KC. Now, they already hold victories over both of them. Now, when they have those second meetings, they've got to try to sweep both of them. If they can get those sweeps, then there's a possibility they're going to be moving up and getting a divisional, and they probably could be a number 3 or maybe a 1. No, I'm not going to say a 1 seed, maybe more of a 3. Just a 3. They'll stay as a 3, but we'll wait and see what occurs down the road. But a breakdown out of this game, Chris Boswell, 59-yard field goal, safety by the Chargers. Cameron Dicker, 32-yard field goal. Ladd McConkey, 15-yard pass from Justin Herbert. Cameron Dicker, 59-yard field goal. Kamani Vidal, 2-yard rush. Cameron Dicker, 40-yard field goal. Roman Wilson, 27-yard pass from Aaron Rodgers. Leaders for the Chargers. Justin Herbert, 20 of 33, 1 touchdown, 220 yards. Kamani Vidal, 25 carries, 95 yards, and a touchdown. Ladd McConkey, 4 catches, 1 touchdown for 107 yards. Khalil Mack, 1 tackle. Khalil Mack was 1 sack, was the leading sacker. And leading tackler for the Chargers was Deion Henley with 5 solo tackles and 6 tackles. For the Chargers, they play on Sunday against the Jags. For the Steelers, they play on Sunday against the Bengals. And our final game in the right and wrong was Eagles-Packers, which I got wrong picking the Packers in that boring-ass Phillies versus Brewers game. Jalen Phillips' productive Eagles debut paces dominant defense and 10-7 win over Packers. Jalen Phillips could sense the different mentality that a defending champion excludes as soon as the Philadelphia Eagles add him at the trade deadline. Jalen Phillips made an impact on this game. The defense literally was the one that got Philadelphia the win here, and I didn't really expect this game to be bad. I thought it was going to be good, and nothing against the Eagles and nothing against the Packers. I don't know what happened here in this game. I know the Eagles were on a bye. I don't know if if the Packers were still thinking about that loss, but neither of these teams look good. I know they both tried tush pushing, and this is one play I don't understand what the Eagles did. They almost literally gave the game away going for it on 4th and 6 when you already had the 2-minute warning. You already had ran the clock down, and then you literally had given the Packers life and possibly giving them an overtime. When McManus missed that first practice, I knew McManus was not going to make it because he had been struggling all season, and which he did miss, and that did not shock me. Because the Packers right now are almost going back to, okay, now you're on a 2-game losing streak. And now there's a possibility you're going to be caught into a trap/fuck you game with the New York Giants because Jameson Winston is starting. And now they have an interim coach in Mike Kafka. And what could happen is a possible fuck you game that could occur. For the Eagles, I'm just saying this one little bad game. I'm not going to put the Eagles on the level with the Denver Broncos because the Broncos have been starting off slow in games constantly. And it's going to come back to haunt them, which I think it will against the Chiefs. With this, I don't know what occurred, but I think this is just maybe they just get this out their system because they got a tough one against the Detroit Lions this Sunday at home. And this is a team that can put up points and do a lot. So if I were the Eagles, you better start off fast. Don't start off slow like you did in this one. Now, it's not going to come back. Like I said, the Eagles are still going to win their division. I think that they have that division locked because I don't see Dallas coming to get it, and I don't see Washington. I damn sure don't see the Giants getting that division. But it's going to be a lot that will occur with them down the road. But a breakdown out of this game. There was no scoring in the first half. Third quarter, Jake Elliott, 39-yard field goal. Devontae Smith, 36-yard pass from Jalen Hurts. Josh Jacobs, 6-yard rush. Leaders for the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, 15-26, one touchdown, 183-yard. Saquon Barkley, 22 carries for 60 yards. Devontae Smith, 1 touchdown, 4 catches for 69 yards. Leading sacker was Nolan Smith Jr. 1 sack, and leading tackle was Zach Bond with 5 solo tackles and 8 tackles. For the Eagles, they play on Sunday Night Football against the Detroit Lions. For the Green Bay Packers, they play on Sunday against the New York Giants. Now, before I end and call it a night, and then later on there will be a show with me and Wolf later on at 11 o'clock at night, it's just been enough time for talk. It's time for kickoff. I'm Dave Walker, and we'll see you on the field. Good night, everybody.